So I have the disturbing psychic ability that I can tell when children are being S.A.ed just out in public, and it's really distracting. I'm like, oh, that's a stepdad, or oh, this creeper is on the prowl, or whatever. Like I can just feel it. Like I've studied it, I've developed my abilities, I know the signs, I know how the trauma is carried in the body. I know like the type of kind of like how strong someone's moral system is, if they can like control their impulses or not, anyways. There's like physical signs, and then it's hard for me to describe the more subtle signs of like what comes through, but I'll tell you about some of it in this video. So a couple days ago I was at the lake, and the water it's beautiful teal, but then like it's kind of muddy too at parts where people swim. So this part, like the water was kind of murky, and it was off to the side, like on a part where there weren't very many people. So there was a father and son kind of playing in the water, and they were kind of wrestling around, but it was kind of sensual. And I was like, that's either like sweet, really sweet and affectionate, or it's creepy. Like I'm gonna keep an eye, like, and I can keep an eye. I'm just like keeping an eye, like super out of the corner of my eye, just like feeling into the awareness of the field. So I'm like, possibly sweet, possibly creepy. So then I noticed that the son is obese, like not hugely obese, but like unhealthily so. So that is one. Not all fat kids are being abused, but it is a common sign that like a lot of kids who are being abused have. So I was like, okay, like another little thing to notice, like possibly some abuse or some unhealthy dynamics at home. And then I could tell that this was his father, but that he didn't live with his father. His father was just taking him out for a play date. And then so I was just keeping an eye. So then I go down in the water to swim, and I hear the father saying, don't tell your mom. Like, what are you going to do when you get home? Just go straight to your room. Don't talk to your mom. And I'm like, okay. Pretty much like confirmation. Like, this is like 2.5 red flags. Like, I'm like, okay, this is getting really suspicious. Like, so then I go back up, and I'm like whispering to my partner, like, shh, 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 I think that guy is touching his son under the water. And the water really carries the sound, so I think the guy could like hear me or perceive me. And when I was swimming, I was praying like, oh God, oh creator, creation, oh universe, like please let this be illuminated. Like please illuminate this in the collective field. Like please bring this to the light so that this can be, resolved in consciousness. Like, so I went back and I was talking to my partner, and then I realized that my witnessing was the light, that this man realized that I had seen him, and he became very self-conscious. And then he began to act differently. He could hear me, and he knew that I knew. And I realized in a very uncomfortable way that I was the fucking light. Like, me bringing consciousness, that was the consciousness in the collective that I was praying for. So the father became very self-conscious. He began to kind of try to prove to me, like, passively, like passive aggressive style, just like that he was like behaving well. So he was trying to like show, and he stopped doing what he was doing, and he was trying to like loudly play in a different way and have me see that. But I could tell that he knew. And I could hear in the father's voice that he abuses substances. So these are just like, I just kept getting like more and more and more confirmation. Like, yeah, that the father abuses substances, and just didn't feel like the kind of like adult man that would really have good control of his impulses. So then it was very awkward. Like I'm sitting there having this deep spiritual conversation with my partner, and like, but then I was also having this psychic conversation with the father, and he was trying to call my attention to like prove that he wasn't doing anything. And it was very awkward. And I was trying not to look over there, because then I also got scared. Like, is this guy going to get mad at me? Is he going to come over? Is he going to like say something to me because he heard me? So I was just kind of like minding my own business, but it was very psychically loud. It was like him and I were in this like tense telepathic conversation. So they stayed like a while playing, and the father the whole time was trying to get me to see. And I was like, I'm not looking, but like I could see, you know? And I could feel then as it was all like fleshing out, like I could see like things were being revealed to me and like things were being confirmed, you know, like all the signs were there. And then eventually they were leaving, and as they were walking away, I could see in the father's posture, not only in his like addiction, substance abuse, I could tell by like his voice and by how he looked really unhealthy. I could tell also that the father had been sexually abused by the way that he walked, by the way that he was also very unhealthy, and by the substance abuse that I could hear in his voice. So it's not always those same exact signs, like it has different signs, but there's little red flags that could cause you to inquire deeper. And yeah, I began developing my psychic abilities 10 years ago when I really just willed it into existence. I was always very intuitive. And then when I started grad school for psychology, I really called it in. I was like, I'm ready. I want to know everything. I want to see everything. And one of the very first things that happened to me as a result was I was forced to look at darkness. Because if you want to expand into the light and expand in awareness, that means you're going to be seeing everything, not just like happy rainbows, sparkles. You're going to be seeing a lot of darkness and light equal. So becoming psychic means that you're going to be exposed to a lot, and it means, can you hold that all with neutrality? But when we witness reality with compassion, it illuminates everything for the collective field. So like, yeah, I wasn't able to like call the mom and tell her, honestly, like, that's on her. Like, she needs to figure that out. Her spidey senses, you know what I mean? But what I was able to do, and her judgment of like what's appropriate, you know, that's going to be, I mean, it's the kid's karmic path. It's the father's karmic path. It's the mother's karmic path. I can't just like butt in. I can't just like go around like yelling at people everywhere when I see this. But then what I did do was, after they left, and then my partner went to swim, so I had some time alone, and I just sat there, and I was having like psychic therapy with the father, and I was like, I see you, and I know you were abused too, and I just started chanting Ho'oponopono for them. So I just started chanting, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. So that might seem weird or out of context, but it's a way of clearing karma and aligning. So like I said, like I see this everywhere, like at the beach, at the grocery store. So I can't go around yelling at people, and it actually wouldn't be safe for me because there's so much shame around this, that it would be dangerous because people would deny it and they would, you know, but whatever we witness, like whatever you're studying for yourself, whatever you're illuminating within yourself, within your own family system, whatever you're becoming aware and conscious of with love is what you're illuminating for the collective. So I know that I impacted the father through witnessing, and I know he became self-conscious and aware. And then I sat and I witnessed his inner child, and I sat and I did therapy with him and his inner child psychically. And mostly I chanted a lot of Ho'oponopono. And this video is getting to the end. But yeah, that's me. My name is Cassandra O'Connor, and my link is in the bio if you want to work with me. My website is lovelikeanocean.com, and you can also develop these psychic abilities. And the main thing is just willing it into existence, and then also being